Hitting record is like the biggest challenge that I didn't go to communication school. I bet they probably spent like a semester on it.
Oh, I know you figured it out, man.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
I tell you, I'm pissed at myself. I get nervous around head football coaches.
Come on, man.
I get
Not
nervous.
me.
I don't care how friendly. Kubiak, the friendliest guy in the world, but like it's a head coach talking to you.
Oh, come on.
It's a head coach. I was, Sean and I were talking. I've told Sean this story before, and I don't know if you remember this at all, but it's a funny story, and I kind of tell it as a way to give people my first impression of you.
Yeah.
And it was in training camp in 2006. You're a rookie. I'm a 10-year vet. It's the first day that you're in with the starters. And I was kind of crusty and old school. And I'm like, hey, rookies. So I don't know, he's starting already. And you got into the huddle. We were doing like a red zone drill or something. And you were having a hard time getting the call out. Mm-hmm. And Richard Smith is yelling at us and everything. And I said, so like, get that freaking call out. Yeah. And you looked at me, and I swear it kind of like, you had a calming presence on me, like a Beastmaster or something. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. I tell people that, like, when I was a rookie, I do remember when you were in the huddle, frustrated and grumpy. Yeah. You're like, hey, rookie, make sure I get the call. Yeah. That was the main thing, but you needed that. I needed that as a rookie, right? And I think a lot of guys, this is what the game kind of misses now, right? You don't have as many 10-year vets who – from playing with you and other vets who are on the team, it made me realize really quickly as a young player, like, hey, this is important. Like, these guys have families, have kids. Like, this is how I feed my family.
Business.
This is business. And it just, man, this is real. And I can't mess around. So that really forced me to make sure I was really dialed in on communication, really sent me down a path to make sure I know what everybody had on the field, make sure I knew all the calls and checks, so I never messed up.
Oh, so, I feel better. I felt bad about that for like 20 years now. Okay, good. It's good. Because the other side of that too is you went on, you had a great rookie year, and I was injured that year, so I was kind of watching from afar. And I got released in the off season, and I had to come back to Houston a couple weeks later. And you were the first person I saw when I parked. I had to park in the staff lot instead of the player lot, and it's kind of tough. You're walking in there, and you just and you came out, and you were the first person I came across. And honestly, I felt like you came out, and I felt you like were excited to see me and talk to me, and you were listening to me. I was like, this is a full-grown man now. Wow. But like that meant a lot to me. Honestly, it was like that was like the first time in my life I'd been cut, and you're going through all this stuff, and it was just really cool to watch you that year transform the way you did. And because Kylie Wong was on the team, and he was trying to come back from an injury, and he had been the guy that was sideline to sideline all the time, and you kind of took his place. But Kylie was a huge fan of yours. So like that, it's been, it's however many years ago that was now, 19 years ago. It's
been a few.
Yeah.
But that shaped me. Like being in at that season of the NFL when you have more veteran guys, like that really shaped me, and it's helped shape my leadership kind of style. Like that's how you do it. Like, and you take it serious. That's what I felt that it was more serious. Now.
Really, you just like that's the difference you felt was like it's not now. College kids.
Yes.
Yeah. What's so that you have that year, and we're talking about that. That's the other thing you see. Is when you're a rookie in the NFL, is like, oh, guys are getting cut.
Yes.
And they're getting cut during the season. And I was wondering about that with you because it's one of the things that happens when you're a head coach all of a sudden, and you've been involved in decisions where maybe guys got cut before, but you're not the one delivering the news.
Correct.
So like, what's your approach when you have to do that and you got to cut a lot of guys?
Yeah, really, when I was a young player, it really shocked me because I see all these vets who are practicing hard in training camp. Like I said, it means a lot to them. And to see vets who I'm thinking they're going to make the team and they get cut, it was just like, I can't believe they cut.
Yeah.
And so, and it happened again, like my second year. And it's like, man, is this to be expected year after year? So, and it was hard for me to take as a young player, but I kind of grew. I guess it's hard to, but you just grow accustomed to like, man, this is just the business of the game where guys are going to be let go. That doesn't mean that you're still not close with guys or you can't be friends with guys, but you get to see guys on other teams, you get to have more friends around the NFL, and now sitting in the seat as a coach and having to deliver that message is so hard on me.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard because you're telling this player no. But the more and more I've done it, the more I've grown comfortable with it, not because of me, but because of the players and how they receive the news. Like, every player that myself and Nick have talked to, they've been, one, very gracious of being here in Houston, thankful to everything that we do for the players. So it's like, okay, it's like a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking guys are going to take it extremely hard and they're going to be disappointed. But most guys take it fairly well. And the one thing that a lot of guys say, hey, what can I do better?
Yeah.
And that's your time to give them now some constructive
give them that plan to try to build them up a little bit. Yeah.
And so it's been great meeting with the guy. It's still heartbreaking. Nick's like, oh, we got to go downstairs.
Yeah,
you just go yourself.
I felt when Kubiak cut me, I felt like I needed to give him a pep talk because that was his first year, you know, and he'd already been through. That's his first offseason, going through some of the veteran offseason cuts and everything, and he was just he was so ready to be a head coach in a lot of ways because he'd been in the league forever, and I was really impressed with him and how he handled everything. But I remember there was one day where he came in the team meeting, where it was like, I thought it was the perfect illustration of how no matter how ready you think you are for it, you're not ready for it. Because he went off on something about like, and I'm tired of the agents calling and getting the calls at whatever this. And have you had that moment where you realize like, oh, okay, I was prepared, but I wasn't quite prepared for this? Like one particular thing?
I'm trying to think here. It's so many different things that you think you're prepared to just coach ball.
Yeah.
Right? Because you spend time as a coordinator, position coach, just focusing on football. I think it's just when things get thrown in your lap, like having to handle the cuts, having to just handle scheduling and different things, adjusting.
It's just like all of it, like the enormity of it.
Yeah, it's a heavy weight to carry because there's so many things and it's never the same. Every day is different. So there is some beauty in that because it's not monotonous, but it also wears on you from a standpoint you never know what to expect when you go in. Yeah. But I haven't had a moment hit me too hard
you're pretty good at taking stuff you understand that when there's a challenge, you just got to work through it.
I try my best to just work through it. And I think the one thing I try to treat everybody with respect, treat people how I want to be treated, and that's helped me a lot.
Do you have anybody? We were talking to Mike D'Antoni today. He claims he's retired, but he was talking about just being, a lot of times coaches don't have, players got sports psychologists and support staff and everything. Yeah. Head coaches don't necessarily have like that mentor or that person that they can talk to about stuff. Do you have any older coaches that you still kind of draw from?
I do, man. Actually, my former linebacker coach, Johnny Holland, who was here in Houston with us when we played. Like, Johnny is just
I loved him, and I didn't spend that much time around him. I loved him. Yeah.
So he's the guy for me who I can talk to. It doesn't matter. We're on different teams. He's still coaching, but he just feels like that big brother to me. No matter what's going on, our families are close. He's just such a great friend who's always gonna shoot it straight to me.
You seem, you've talked about finding different approaches for different players. You can't have the same necessarily leadership style for everybody. So, and you've worked up until this point, these last couple of years, mostly with defensive players. Yeah. Has there been a challenge in, working with a young quarterback, or have you learned like, okay, this is a different set of challenges that I got to help this guy talk through that maybe I haven't done before?
No, it's whenever you're working with players, for me, man, the same with CJ, it's just about building relationships. Yeah. Like when I was in San Francisco, I felt like the linebackers that I was coaching, like I had a great relationship with those guys. So I was able to coach them hard. I was able to, give them bad news and good. And they received it because they knew it came from my heart, right? And I wasn't too hard on them, unless Aziz said something different. But,
Aziz.
But with CJ, it's been the same. Like, no matter where guys are offense, like, it's just, man, I just wanted to let them know that I truly care about them and develop a relationship. And then whatever coaching point I may have, it's easier to receive it because they know where it's coming from.
That's what I love. Honestly, I love when Aziz talks about button heads with you because I think there's times where I think people have their vision in their head of the movie version of a football coach or whatever their high school football coach was, and that they think that to be a tough football coach, you got to be somebody that's screaming at them and insulting them all the time. And it really, Aziz, when he talks about him butting heads with you, it's a perfect illustration of, no, the toughest football coach is the one that holds you to a high standard.
That's it.
And the attention to detail, because it's 3 inches to the left
Yes.
and 3 inches to the right, and you're like, why will DeMeco not shut up about like that's the stuff I think that people might not realize that players want and need, but that's the toughest coaching you get. It's just the standard you're held to.
It is. I have a very high standard for these guys.
Yeah.
And if they don't have one, I'm going to put one there for them them to reach. And even if it's a good play, I'm not always celebrating the outcome of the play.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and I do it the right way, but hey, man, what if you were 2 steps to the left,
mm-hmm.
right? What if your eyes were exactly where they're supposed to be on this play? Like, just making sure they go back to their process, being deliberate, the small little minute details, because in big games, as you know, it's not the wild plays.
Yeah.
It's who can be consistent,
yeah.
who can not screw it up the most, and those are the teams we're going to win.
Well, I talked to you about this last year. I love your pro grow tapes.
Yeah.
Because I think, honestly, and you talk to a lot of guys that played in the league, and there's times where you just feel like, I feel like I got to improve at everything, and I don't know exactly what they even think about me or what I need to improve on, and it feels like these guys have a pretty good plan set out for them about, okay, just this digestible amount of things. I got to fix these work on these 1 or 2 things.
Yeah, it's one thing. And what we do during training camp, like that's the pro grow tapes we do in the off season and OTA. So when guys come in, it's one-on-one meetings with your coaches. You go through that pro grow tape, give you a couple things. But when we come back in training camp, what I've done is I asked our offensive, defensive coaches, every day of camp, I want one guy from your position,
mm-hmm.
and I want you to write down one thing that he's working on that day.
Yeah.
And we're going to list it. We're going to put it up in front of the team so
mm-hmm.
everybody knows, hey, CJ Stroud, progression.
Yeah.
Or Aziz Al-Shair, hey, wrapping up.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing. You pick one player from your position, so every day of camp, you got different players on there, different one thing for them to improve upon.
Yeah.
And we also do it
and
for
your teammates know about it.
Your teammates know, so your teammates can check you on. Like, hey, Seth, you were supposed to work on your first step.
Right, yeah.
Like, are you on it today?
And that's where, the players themselves are such valuable resources for that, right? Because a defensive tackle working next to another defensive tackle, and you know that guy's working, he's supposed to be working on his get off.
Right.
I'm going to remind him, like, hey, man, get your get off.
It's more powerful always when it comes from your teammates.
Yeah.
It's like we talked about you saying something about the communication. That meant more to me than it's like, oh, a coach is getting on me about the communication. Well, no, my teammate needs it. I'm going to make sure I got it down, right?
Yeah. I read The Energy Bus because I had read in an article that was on your shelf.
Yeah.
And I think the big one I took away from that, you read, it's like it's a good book for kids,
it is.
I think, because it's or young men, because a lot of guys aren't readers, but it's a kind of like parables almost.
Right.
But the concept of energy vampires and not being an energy vampire, like is that still something you talk about? I heard it from players early last year, but I don't think I've heard it again.
Yeah.
Is it because you don't have any energy vampires?
I got rid of all that.
Got rid of the
They can't get on my bus. So no, it's definitely plays a part into like who we want on the team.
Yeah.
Like, it's guys with good character, good energy, good vibe, and you do that throughout the draft process. For me, is like talking to their teammates or their coaches to see how our guy. We watch the tape. We get the tape.
Yeah.
Well, how are these guys around the locker room, around the building with the academic staff, and you get to know, oh, this is a real dude or not.
Yeah.
So if it's a guy, and I got mixed reports on him, and he's next.
Really? Yeah. You don't have time for it.
Because I know I'm going to be pushing guys. I know I'm going to set a high standard for them, and they have to be able to have their resilience and have a great attitude to be able to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to make sure we get the right guys in there. Nick has done a great job of just both of us teaming up and making sure we find the right guys.
The right guys, yeah. And I think for you and Nick, it seems like you guys have formed a real good understanding of, hey, whatever, because there's no one way to do it, but there's your way to do it and what's going to work for you. And you seem to have been able to identify some of these guys in the draft because honestly, DeMeco, I'd love to be a grumpy old man about kids these days and everything. I come out here and watch, and I talked to Kamari Lassiter the other day. like, these guys are more mature and professional than I think most guys were, like, when I was a young guy.
They are.
Like, they just approach it differently.
Yeah, they are approaching it. And I think the college space has helped them when it comes to, like, now these guys are getting NIL, they're getting money. Like, they've seen a big paycheck before.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising to them. So they had to figure out how to manage money, how to manage a team of people who are helping them. They had to figure that out fairly early.
Mm-hmm.
So coming here, it's just that next step of it. So they're prepared, they're ready for the moment, and the league isn't too big for them. It's not overwhelming when they get their first paycheck, because these guys have seen numbers like that before.
As CJ Gardner-Johnson said that on the Pivot podcast, something about how the first couple of years he was in the league, it was almost like he was living what he thought the movie version of a football player is. And you got to break all those preconceptions and everything about what it's like. Yeah. And it's cool to see, like, just some of these young guys. Like Kamari, I talked to him a little bit about something I had heard Fred Warner say, that you taught him about how, look, everybody's running the same thing. It's just they're getting to it different ways.
Yeah.
And is that part of the challenge, and just kind of coaching something is just simplifying it and saying, like, look, no, this is what you need to worry about. Don't worry, we won't hear the helicopter.
You won't hear it? Okay.
Yeah. That's high quality equipment right there.
I truly believe in making football as simple as possible for them. Like, I've been on defenses where you try to run 50 different calls and you're not good at any of them.
Yeah.
So people are like, oh, you run this scheme and this coverage. Yeah, we run this coverage, but it's going to be very detailed. And every little detail that we can even think about, like, it's going to be dialed in. And our guys are going to know that detail. And then once we get that defense down, then we go to the next one. And we're going to dissect that thing and make sure everybody knows all the ins and outs. And so now when you line up, we've gotten so many reps at what we do. Now we can mix and match. We can do different things. It looks more complex than it is. But it's
the illusion of complexity.
That's what it's all about, right? But I still want our guys to go out and be able to play fast. I don't want Kamari thinking. I don't want Aziz thinking. I don't want Will thinking. I want them to be able to play as fast as possible. And we do that by myself keeping it as simple as possible.
There was one article I was reading about kind of where things have moved with sports psychology. And it was one of these things, I fought it at first because I got the movie version of football in my head. But the concept of, when you're trying to improve a skill or get a guy better at something, it's a lot more effective to just show them an example of somebody else doing it right, or they themselves doing it right, than it is to show them the mistake. Because then you're just strengthening the mistake. And I know when you first got here, you're showing these guys a whole bunch of 49ers tape, right?
Yeah.
Are you able to now show them a lot of Texans tape when you're doing that?
We got rid of the 49ers tape.
Did you guys bury it?
We got it. We didn't bury it. It's still in the archives, just in case. We had to pull them an example. But for the most part, it's just showing guys how it's done. But for me, I always believe in positive reinforcement. It's not, hey, don't back up, don't do this, don't. Hey, just one step that way. Hey, just make sure you put your eyes on the back this time. Hey, make sure you see that, and it's just all about the positive reinforcement. What do I need to do? Don't tell me tell me what don't to do.
Because immediately in the player's mind, he's thinking about, he's getting mental reps on doing it the wrong way.
Exactly.
Gary Moeller, we had a defensive coordinator, Gary Moeller. He'd been the head coach at Michigan for a long time. He was big on that. He would say, you can't visualize a negative. So if you say, don't fumble the football, immediately you're thinking about, so it's hold on to the football.
Yes.
Did you read any books this last month?
I'm working on one. Nick just gave me, and you're gonna ask me.
It's a Morgan Hensel one, probably.
What's the name of it?
Is it like Psychology of Money or something like that?
No,
I've read like 4 books by it that Nick.
Nick just gave me one. Oh man, something about everything is the same. I got to figure out.
It is. It is. I think of the name. What's the name of the author, Omar? It's,
everything is the same. It's not
the same as ever.
Same as ever.
It is good.
It's
good.
Ever.
I read it when Nick sent it to me last year.
Same as ever. So that's the one I'm working on now.
It's circumstances change and everything, but some things are true, and some people always operate the same way in certain circumstances. I read Belichick's book this summer.
How was that?
It was good. It started off slow, and then he got into it. He got into his groove. I was listening to the audiobook.
Gotcha.
In the first couple chapters, I'm like, this is Belichick, like press conference Belichick. This is going to be a long one. And then he got rolling. I thought the one, and I told Nick this, I like to read biographies or autobiographies of people and pick out the advice that people definitely aren't going to follow because it's hard. And he said the four most important words for a leader to know are, I effed that up. And that taking accountability and just showing everybody that, hey, when you make a mistake, I'm taking accountability for it. And it doesn't mean it's acceptable. I'm going to fix it. But the leader's got to really admit, which I feel like for young coaches, that's tough. That's tough when you're not established. Like I'm guessing Belichick said that more as he got older than maybe when he was younger.
I just believe that, like, just as a father, right? I believe in admitting, owning up to the mistakes and letting people know you're just human.
Yeah.
Like, I may have the title of head coach or title of dad, but hey, dad messes up too. Hey, I could have said that different to you. Like, I'm sorry. Hey guys, I screwed that up. And this mean I shouldn't have did it that way if I had to do it. Now I'm going back and I'm trying to work on it and fixing it. But I think I believe in doing that. And guys see that you're truly, I'm human. I'm not the, informative head coach who never makes a mistake and will always say things perfectly in the meetings. And it's like, no, I'm just like you. We're all the same. We're going to make mistakes. I'm going to let you know, and I'm going to try my best to correct it for the next time.
Yeah, it makes it a lot harder for the guy that wants to claim he didn't mess up on that play, right?
Exactly.
I'm not going to keep. You got actual football stuff to handle. I feel so good that you took something from me dressing you down.
Yeah, I did. Appreciate you, man.